Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the next in the line of Game of Thrones. This is Cardhu Gold Reserve, which is representing House Targaryen, and so am I! So, Cardhu was chosen, I think, because it was founded by a woman back in the 1800s, and that's kind of lame. I get what they were going for, and maybe that's fine, whatever, but I just don't think that that was necessarily the right message to send here. Yes, Daenerys Targaryen is strong. She's kind of like a distorted image of Cersei, which is why I think ultimately they're really good against each other. And towards the end of the season, you know, now that season 8's starting up, you can tell that that's going to be part of the conflict here. So when I think of Daenerys, I think of somebody who's strong and bold and successful, but also empathetic and, you know, kind of feeling she's got this almost like an innocence about her, even though she's fierce. So when I think of Cersei, now I think of somebody a little different, right? So she's obviously been commanded by her father for most of her life, so she's got a different motivation. Now that he's out of the picture, she wants to prove herself, but instead of doing it in a way that might be a good leader, instead she's cruel and commanding. Whereas Dany is more trying to prove herself, always has been. She's trying to prove that she's worthy of this throne that is rightfully hers, at least in her mind. So she wants to kind of make the world better, free all the slaves, and just kind of reclaim that throne. So it's interesting. I've actually really loved seeing the way that those two kind of have evolved as characters together. I think it's very nice. Anyway, one of the biggest things that I think is a fault with Cersei is that she lacks any empathy whatsoever. And because of that, I think, personally, she's going to be, you know, at the end of this season. But who knows? It's Game of Thrones. It could very well just be friggin', I don't know, Tyrion sitting on the throne at the end of this whole thing. Who knows? Either way, let's talk about this whiskey. So this is a 40% ABV, no age statement, so 3+ years because it's a Scotch. By the way, side note, I had totally forgotten what it's like to have any sort of hair, and I get this as a wig, but boy is this annoying. It's like all in my face and stuff. Anyway, alright, let's go ahead and give this a nose. Nose on this is much better. It's been a couple of Game of Thrones episodes that you and I have done together where I have not really loved the whiskey. This nose, so far, shaping up to be pretty good. So it's got a sweetness about it, which is not necessarily, doesn't taste fake, or it doesn't smell fake. It smells naturally sweet, which is great, and that of course comes along with a little bit of fruit and a little bit of vanilla. There's a hint of chocolate in there, but I'm almost not willing to even commit to that. It might just be my imagination. So let's go sweetness, vanilla, honey, and fruit. Let's go with that. I can't place my finger on the fruit, but if I had to guess, I'd say like a pit fruit, like a peach, or like an apricot, something like that. All right, let's go ahead and give it a taste. Cheers. Alright, so the taste is very different. It's drastically different, actually. The first thing I'm getting is kind of like a cereal grain. Think like a Life cereal almost, or like a Cheerio. No, I'm not gonna go Cheerios. I think it's something with a little bit more flavor. Let me take another sip. Hold on. I think I'm going to go with Life cereal, but not the cinnamon one. Just the plain old, just regular cereal. Maybe even like a dried kashi. I think was that what it was called? Like the like frosted mini wheats without the frosted. Anyway, shredded wheat. All right. Anyway, let's move on from that. I am getting apricot in the taste, so now I'm going to redact my nose and just move it from peach or apricot just to apricot. But it's not super strong. The apricot in here is followed a little bit by some banana to me, and everything else kind of trails off. You might be getting a little bit of honey or a little bit of vanilla in there, but I think it's just, I'm going to stop at the banana. All right, let's talk about what this whiskey is. This whiskey is Unfortunately, one of the better Game of Thrones whiskeys so far, and I say unfortunately because even this is not super impressive. It took a lot, you know, like obviously I just kind of worked through it here too. Even when I was taking my notes prior, it took a lot of effort to get any of those notes out of here. You got to dig. You got to sample, you got to add water, you got to do all the things, all the tricks to get anything out of this. Here's where it sucks. The Mother of Dragons, man. She's like one of the main characters. She's awesome. Everything about Daenerys is awesome. Why on earth wouldn't they do a peated freaking smoky whiskey? She's the Mother of Dragons. I mean, come on. They at least go with something like sherry. Hey, what is their phrase? Something like hold on, I have it. I think it's something like fire and blood. Fire and blood. Smoke, sherry, mix them together, go freaking nuts. It's limited release anyway. You could just do something crazy. Make it high ABV, make it freaking nuts. It's such a waste. Is it bad? No. But is it disappointing? Yeah, like monumentally disappointing. Anyway, that's my rant. So, thank you for joining. Actually, I should give you my rating. Just don't bother. I mean, really, if you're gonna bother, this is one of the safer bets of all the ones that I've reviewed so far, but don't bother. There's better options out there. So, thank you for joining me here on this episode of the Whiskey Dictionary, and I will see you again tomorrow.